Hey guys, it's back. It's Super Bowl weekend. The Banana Cooler's back, and just got a lot of things to chat about. We have the Super Bowl coming up tomorrow. It's a rematch of a couple years ago with Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. And Patrick Mahomes going for a three-peat. Don't tell Pat Riley I said three-peat. But it should be an interesting game. I think a lot of people get tired of the teams that keep winning continuously, and they're definitely a couple of those teams in this game. It's one of those things. But yeah, I don't really have a rooting interest in either team. Don't really have a particular need for either team to win or for a certain outcome. I feel like the Eagles defense is going to come up with something to scheme against Mahomes, but Mahomes being Mahomes, he's always just seems like one step ahead, or always able to make that extra play that some people can't. But we'll see. I think it's it's time. Jalen Hurts, he played well the last time they played in the Super Bowl. Probably hasn't had too many games that good since the last time they played in the Super Bowl. But definitely, one of those opportunities for him to cement the legacy, get that Super Bowl victory. But for me, if I had to pick, I would like to see the Chiefs, do something that no one else has ever done in the Super Bowl era, win back-to-back Super Bowls, and it would be good for the game. I know a lot of people think that the Chiefs get favored by the officiating and they're favored by the referees, and it seems to me like that's a bit of a conspiracy theory. Maybe it just seems that way sometimes, and a lot of times the really good players, they get preferential treatment in certain sports, right? And Mahomes is definitely proven and shown out to be a stellar player, and one of the few people that can keep up at that level to legends like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, lots of Joe Montana. He's in that rarefied air, so to speak, and maybe he does get a few extra calls, but to be a conspiracy theory, it would take a lot of work, I think. I'm gonna suggest that if you're having a Super Bowl party tomorrow, you don't all take a shot every time they show Taylor Swift in the audience, or you might be asleep by halftime. We probably don't need as much of that as we're gonna get, but what can you do, right? Interesting for me too. Saquon Barkley made a legit case for being the MVP this year. Really bringing back the running back position to prominence in the NFL, and we'll see with him and Derrick Henry, the King. We'll see if they can get the position back to where it once was, and in the 80s, early 90s, like running back was a prestige. Probably other than quarterback was the most prestigious spot on the roster for an NFL team, or even a CFL team. But Saquon going to get a run to get a Super Bowl ring and make the Giants look even more silly, letting him go to keep the quarterback that they already cut. It's going to be an interesting game. I don't have a really good feeling one way or the other. Like I said, I think the Chiefs always seem to pull these out. The last two times they played, you could make an argument for, the Eagles having played better than the Chiefs in the last game. But you never know, right? You never know what's going to happen in these games, and I think the Eagles' defense is pretty good. So, Spags is going to dial up some stuff, and Fangs as well. But you will see the best team will win, I guess. That's usually what happens in the Super Bowl. But it should be an interesting game. My prediction will be put on another video, so you'll have to see for that. But I'm really excited. The halftime show should be really good. Kendrick Lamar, I hope he does. They not like us because I'm hearing that there's like a lawsuit, so he might not be able to sing it, or it might cost him a lot of money if he does it. But SZA will be good too. Halftime show has been really good lately. For me, it's hard to top. Bruno Mars was great. Dre and Snoop was good with 50 hanging upside down, and Kendrick was in that one too. Michael Jackson was a great one. There's been a ton of good ones. Lady Gaga was good actually. So we'll see how it goes. It should be a really good one. I think Kendrick's gonna have some surprise people up his sleeve for that one, and we'll see who joins him in the halftime show. But it's gonna be the anti-Drake day. That's for sure. I think it's gonna be a tough one for Mr. Drake, and a very tough year. Yeah, you did join at the right time. That's right. We're talking about the halftime show. So, it's been it's been a lot of great halftime shows actually since Jay-Z kind of took control of scheduling the halftime show, and we've had a lot of good ones. So it's good. I'm certain Kendrick is going to drop an amazing performance and have the whole crowd going nuts. The Super Bowl is very close to Los Angeles, so I'm sure they're going to get a lot of people from there. And it's been a tough year for the people in Los Angeles, and I'm sure Kendrick's going to want to show up and show out for the halftime show. So should be good that way. Another thing is interesting. We thought we were getting a Jake Paul, Canelo Alvarez fight, and at the very last minute, Canelo signed a 4-fight deal with Riyadh Season, and Jake was not too happy. He showed a contract, which he claims is a signed contract, but it's a signed confidentiality agreement. So a little bit different thing there. I think it was a confidentiality agreement to talk about the fight, and it was signed, definitely. He showed the document signed by both guys, but definitely not a fight contract. So, in Saudi Arabia with the Riyadh Season, I don't think our good friend Canelo is going to miss out on any money. They have a lot of cash. The Saudi Arabia, was that the Minister of Sport or whatever that does that? They have a lot of money, and they have a lot of money to throw around. They've thrown around a lot of money before, and I'm sure we'll get the details on how much money that contract was worth for Canelo for 4 fights, but my guess would probably be $400 million. It would have been interesting to see Canelo fight Paul at 200 pounds. I think it would have been great to watch Jake Paul get crushed by Canelo, and he definitely would have. But I think Jake knows he's got to do something after that Tyson fight to get people's attention again, because you might as well have had the fight in an old folks home, and when you watch the fight back, it looks like Mike was kind of pulling some punches on him too. So hard to say one way or the other, but he's got to do something to get that attention back on himself. He's very good at marketing. He's very good at marketing himself for sure. The Paul brothers, you got to give them up to both of them for that. They're brilliant at getting the spotlight on themselves. Love them or hate them, and there would have been a lot of viewers on it if they put that one through Netflix as well, for MVP, his promotion. And he's done a lot of good things for boxing in general, bringing eyes back to boxing. But I don't think anyone wants to see Canelo, spoil his legacy by. I guess it wouldn't really spoil his legacy, but just come to that. You're such a great fighter. You fought so many great opponents, and then you're gonna fight Jake Paul. Kind of tarnishes the legacy a little bit, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, and I think the fight was supposed to be in May, which would have been pretty close, which would have been good too. But anytime Canelo fights, it's great. The Mexican people always come out to support him, and everybody likes watching Canelo because he's a great boxer. So I feel like Paul might fight his brother, or say he's going to fight his brother. I know they were kind of talking about it. I think it was a clip for a TV show or something they were doing. But, if he can't get someone legit to fight him, I don't think anyone's going to want to see him beat up some old UFC guys anymore, or, some more geriatric people from bygone era. Is he going to fight Holyfield next? Is he going to fight Foreman next? Who knows, right? So it'd be good to see him fight someone near his age that was a good fighter, but you can't step up to Canelo and expect anything good to happen, in that fight and in your career as well. So we'll see how it goes, and like I said, we'll see how it goes for the Super Bowl as well. We got spring trainings coming up too for Major League Baseball. Hockey season's in full swing. NBA trade deadline was nuts. I mean, Luka getting traded is wild to me, and getting traded for AD, everyone's kind of talking like it was a horrible trade. AD's a great player, but definitely gets hurt a lot. I think the thing with what we're finding out about with Luka, or maybe we're not finding out, it's just kind of odd to trade a guy 25 years old, top 3 offensive players in the league, definitely not in the top 40 defensive players, 100 defensive players in the league, but top 3 offensive players in the league. Lots of bright future ahead of him, and they don't shop him around to other teams. Supposedly, they don't, get the most for him, right? I mean, I think Rudy Gobert got 5 first-round draft picks, and you get that back for Luka. I feel like there's something that we don't know that will come out soon, or either that or just a bad move by the GM. So we'll see how that goes. The Golden State getting Jimmy Butler, we'll see how that one goes too. If they didn't give up too much for him, was I think first round draft pick Andrew Wiggins, and there was another piece of that trade too. Getting Jimmy Butler back though. Getting Jimmy Butler in the Bay. We'll see how it goes. At least it gives Steph someone else, to help him out a little bit. But I'm not sure it was enough to help the Warriors make a run. They looked really tough lately without Kuminga. Moody stepped up a little bit, but they're going to need a lot of help to get back on track and get out of that play-in spot too. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, crazy time in sports.